Hi guys, my name is Michael Steele and I am a photographer. So I kind of started photography back in 2008, just after finishing high school. I picked up photography and since then I've just sort of grown and grown. It's just become my passion now. I guess the reason why I chose to do photography was because it was just something interesting and different to me. I never really looked at it before. It's sort of like a medium where you have an idea in your head and then you can just sort of make it happen through a lens, which I find is very fascinating. So every time I have an idea now, I just sort of think of a way how to actually represent that, and to do it with photography, it's actually quite a challenge, which I enjoy. It sort of motivates me. One of my favorite photographers is Benjamin von Wong. The reason why I like him so much is because he's a guy that's very passionate about his work and loves sharing his ideas. And all his concepts are just incredible. He always goes big, you know? Some of my favorite works he's done is like, recently he did a shark shepherd campaign where he had a model underwater swimming with all these sharks, and it sort of raised awareness about, you know, cutting fins and selling shark soup, and it was for a great cause, but it was also a great shoot and a great concept, and I love to do that kind of thing, so I look up to him for that kind of stuff. With my photography, I do all sorts, but my preference is usually surrealism and fine art, and the reason I love doing that is because it's I always have these really crazy ideas in my head, and photography and things like Photoshop especially actually let me do that. So I enjoy coming up with these crazy concepts and then challenging myself and, you know, trying to figure out how to do it, and then once I do it, it's interesting. I guess one of my favorite pieces of work would be probably one of the first photos I ever took back in UK, where I'm from. My friend Alex and I one day just sort of like twisting around with the settings, not really knowing what I was doing, and I put it on like a slow shutter with a flash. And as I took it, I was sort of just like playing around and swiveling the camera like back and forth in like a cross motion, and it actually made like this really awesome portrait that was just like sort of surreal. Which kind of got me into like the whole like fine art and surreal concept. So yeah, I think that's one of my favorites. It's a fluke shot, but it's one of my favorite shots. I also do a lot of self-portraits. The reason I do that is because I guess I like expressing myself through my images. So if I'm feeling like, you know, happy, sad, or, you know, dark or edgy at the time, then I just come up with these ideas, and because I know what I want, I'm able to actually do it myself. But I also enjoy shooting with friends as well, but I also have friends help me out as well. So it's nice to sort of just all round, you know, shoot other people or myself. So during my journey for photography, there's always been bumps in the road as well. Like, you'll have like creative blocks, or you'll have a shoot that goes absolutely wrong, and you know, you just sort of lose motivation. But how I counter that is sort of like you just keep going, and it's okay to actually fail, because failure can lead to success. And it's also okay to take a break as well, because you need to have that, you know, you need to sort of refresh your mind. So that's sort of how I deal with my problems. At the same time, I also love music as well, so I listen to like a good song and then I'll get a good idea and sort of go, okay, we can make this work. So that's kind of how I counter problems and such and make solutions. Future goals, I don't really have anything solid in mind. I'm kind of a guy that just sort of takes it on the chin. Whatever comes my way, I just, you know, take it on. But ideally what I'd love to do is sort of travel the world and do these like big concept shoots, you know. It's kind of like what Von Wong does. He's inspired me to just sort of do that, get out of my comfort zone and just, you know, go big or go home, essentially. At the same time, with traveling, I'd like to just sort of visit like really cool locations, maybe like abandoned buildings, that sort of thing, and do these really cool surreal concepts in my spare time too. So it's more of just the fact of like shooting what I love doing, and inspiring others, as well as succeeding, of course. So